Today we're building in the H9 flow, and it's going to look absolutely stunning because we're addressing it with 10 beautiful Infinity fans coming over from Lian, the new SL120 Infinity fans. We're powering this with the 1300K. We get 6800 megahertz of DDR5 coming in from TEAMGROUP and the Delta RGB that we love. You see it on the channel a lot because it's a fantastic RAM. On top of that, we got a 2 terabyte NVMe drive coming over from Kingston in the KC3000. It's all being put on the beautiful Z790 Tomahawk Wi-Fi from MSI. We got 1200 watt power supply, and we have that 1200 watt power supply because we have the MSI GeForce RTX 4090 Gaming X Trio. Absolutely killer system today. Let us know what you think down below in the comments. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you like all this content we put over here on YouTube. Come over and check us out any Monday, Wednesday, or Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/stints. We hope to see you soon. Yeah, it's an absolutely monster build. Absolutely monster build. Let's go to the build station. I'm gonna get started. Let's make this done. It's gonna be about a 2-hour build today. Maybe a little bit less. We'll see because the Infinity fans are pretty good to work with. It's gonna be pretty tight, but they're gonna look absolutely killer today. So let's get over. Let's get started, and I'll see you over at the build station. I just gotta get mic'd up really quick, and I'll see you right over there.
I mean, look at this. Look at these parts. All right, 1300K. We're gonna go top down. Socket looks good. Down and in. All latched in. Let's get started. Next is gonna be our NVMe drive. KC3000, fantastic drive, dropping down and in here in our primary NVMe slot today. There we go. All right, before we move on to RAM, we're gonna put the cooler standoffs in. Today we're using the Corsair Capellix XT. Steve, can I give you a Stinspo plate for this one, Steve? Put a Stinspo logo on it, brother. Awesome. Sounds good.
Steve, is there a reason why you want the Corsair if you're not over the LS now? The LS you could probably tie into the RGB system a little better than the Corsair because you have to run the Corsair pumps and also, I didn't think I thought about that, you have to run Corsair IQ for just the pump and then you have to run the Infinity software for your cooler. And the reason why you're running the H150 over the Deepcool LS 720 or an LT even, should we put the LT in this? LT 720 with the Infinity, better, you were told better. I mean, it's like 1 degree.
The LT would have the Infinity look of the fans. That's what I'm saying. Let me show you what it looks like. I'm just saying from an RGB and also standover point, the LT is phenomenal. But I'll show you what it looks like. This is the cooler, Steve. So it's got that Infinity look. And I believe I can tie it into the RGB. Let me see if I have I think I have some of those cables so you run off the Infinity software, which would look so cool because you can tie right into the ecosystem of the LT. Okay. I was just thinking about that. I'm like, wait, why are we doing the Corsair still? When I know you swapped the fans over. I'm like, is there a reason why we're doing Corsair when we're doing all Infinity fans? Didn't think about that, but I was like, let's put them on the LT. The LT will look good with it. So we have this right here as well. I was looking for, chat. Sorry for delay. So this goes to this is like a 3-pin, standardized 3-pin 5-volt adapter. This will go from the block, so we'll take the RGB block on top of the Deepcool, go into this cable, and go into the hub for the Infinity fan. So the Infinity block will mirror whatever you do on the fans, which is really cool. That's what I was doing, just being a little bit more forward-thinking to tie everything in the system. Like it's something that if we can do that for a customer, we're gonna do it, you know. All right, guys, now we have the standoffs in place. We're gonna put our RAM in. Which today we have the 6800 megahertz from TEAMGROUP. So what we have on this motherboard, Z790 Tomahawk, we have the 1300K down there. Our brackets and our standoffs are in place for the LT720 coming in from Deepcool at 360 AIO. 6800 megahertz of Team DDR5, that's 32 gigs right there, and then Team Delta, RGB. We have a 2 terabyte KC3000 drive as our primary NVMe slot right here in slot 1. And then we put this all in the beautiful H9 case coming in from NZXT. There we go. Take this out of the way. We're gonna start working on our motherboard, getting it mounted. So we're gonna go top down. Beautiful Z790 Tomahawk. Tomahawk looks really good in this case, by the way. The blackout looks sharp. Right. Motherboard's in, give you a front close-up chat. All right, let's get our cables in, chat. Our Type-C, our USB 3.0. There we go. All right, Infinity fan time. All right. All right, bottom fans are in. Next we're on the side fans, chat. There we go. All right, next is gonna be power supply and braided cables. Braided cables in this are always fun. H9 with braided cables is a tight one, but we're gonna do it. So right up here it gets really tight. We're using the LT720 from Deepcool. Oh, by the way, I get you a full 12 volt to high 12 volt cable, by the way, for your GPU, so it's also right angle. So there's no worry about the glass. All right, next is gonna be CPU cables. This is the tight point right here, is the where the cooler comes in, because it's like right against these fans. You gotta be careful where you put these braided cable combs. There we go. All right, we've got our USB HD audio in. There we go. Just working on some of our cable management in the back chat before we move on to cooler and power supply here soon. I'll show you the cable management. That's what's working on the back right there. I'll slap my fingers. Looking clean. Spin it back around. Start working on the cooler and rear fan. Put the rear fan in and working on the rad, chat. No vertical mount now. We don't like the potential of like PCIe and issues with the riser cables. They can be finicky, so we don't use them that often. All right, next is going to be the cooler. The rear fan's in. Say the RGB lock off for a second. There we go. Get this all set in place. All right, I gotta work on power supply, our fan hub. All right, we're gonna hook up this hub and then we're gonna move on to the other cables, which are our power supply cables, things like that. We're moving on to that next. We use this really cool mounting Velcro, chat. Cut our own custom strips, this stuff right here. So let's take a piece like this where we know it's gonna sit on our hubs. There's our mounting strip. That way you can always take it off if you have like a bad hub. How are we looking so far? Looking good? GF3 coming out. There she is. Okay, we need today CPU 1, 44 pin to our extensions, SATA, CPU 2. That's it. Don't need a 12 volt high power, so we're doing a 12 volt high power replacement with the braided cable. That's where it mounts. It's right in the back of the case, just like so, right up top here. There we go. Power supply is in. You grab the GPU. Oh, the great thing I love about the case is the cable manages better than the Evo. A lot better than the Evo in this case. 4090 gaming extra today. Fantastic card. Honestly, one of the best bang for buck cards in the market right now. People keep asking me, like, since what 4090 you should get this. Because you can overclock it, you can push it more if you need to. They are really hard to beat for the price. Like the Strix, overpriced. The Tough is a good value from Asus. Strix is really honestly overpriced, unless you just want to have the Strix. Because people are like, oh, I want to have the Strix, this is Strix. Supreme is good. A little heavier. Honestly, you can get this pretty darn close to the exact same performance as a Supreme. I mean, it's 4090. They are beasts. There's chat. There's the behemoth that is the Gaming X Trio 4090. Shush! It's a 3 slaughter. Ready for the thunk? The thunk gets from the chungus. You ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Heard that thunk. There we go. Right angle connection for the win. In we go. Nice click there. Our braided cable. That looks good. That right angle definitely adds to it. There is chat. All right, guys, it's time to light it up. Steve's in the chat. Let's light it up for Steve. This thing is absolute gorgeous system. No GPU support. No, I will recommend a better one than the one that comes with the MSI. MSI's is, it's gaudy. That sag, it's very, see the thing is very uneducated. People aren't really educated on how this card's made. So the card actually slants like this. There's very little sag, it's actually tapered here. So a lot of people who don't know, they'll say that it's sagging when it's actually the design of the card. It actually goes from a thicker to a thinner piece. So it looks like there's a lot of sag. It's not as much as you think there. Right, let's get it all plugged in, get our panels on. Let's light it up.
Guys, thanks for coming in and liking another video here on YouTube. Make sure to hit that like button, help us with the algorithm. Make sure people find us and see all the beautiful PCs we build. If you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button as well. Remember, we build these systems live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday over on our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/stints. Come over, hang out, chat it up with us, watch us build beautiful PCs for everybody in the community. And remember, let's go.